QuickBooks Online Connector for BPM Online. Overview, setup, and functionality. QuickBooks Online Connector allows organizations to leverage the synchronization of BPM Online CRM with QuickBooks. Once the connector is installed in BPM Online, two additional sections would be added to the section panel. They are QuickBooks and Web Service Work Report, which is a log activity. The initial setup will be delivered by the developing partner with further provision of instructions on how to work with the connector. The two-way synchronization allows data to be pushed from BPM Online to QuickBooks and from QuickBooks to BPM Online. And then, as an example of the synchronization is adding an account or contact to your BPM Online instance, and automatically the data will be pushed to your QuickBooks. Later, when the status of a contact or account is changed, that data can be pushed back to BPM Online and modified here automatically. Out of the box, synchronization for accounts, contacts, invoices, and products is available. If additional synchronization is required, it can be developed upon request. So let's take a look at the synchronization process. All of the synchronization rules can be found under QuickBooks section. Here, you can set up the mapping and select what will trigger the synchronization. For example, we can synchronize accounts, contacts, invoices, and products to QuickBooks. We can set up additional rules on pushing the data back from QuickBooks. Adding in a new rule looks as follows. We would name the rule. The status would be then selected, whether it is in progress, whether it is active, or it is not active. We can then select the data. We can then select the action, whether the data is going to be pushed from BPM Online to QuickBooks and whether it's going to be pushed back from QuickBooks as well. Particularly, this mapping is configured for accounts with a type customer. And the event that will trigger this synchronization is adding a record to the account section with a type customer. Under mapping of the fields, we can configure then what are the record details that are going to be pushed to the QuickBooks. For example, the BPM Online lookup section is accounts, and the column that needs to be pushed is name, and the destination in QuickBooks would be then identified as well. The customers and the QuickBooks field would be display name as. This allows us to customly configure the synchronization for different types of records in the system, such as QuickBooks customers, QuickBooks vendors. You can trigger adding an invoice as well. For example, every time an invoice is added to BPM Online, we can then send this data with the following mapping of invoices account, amount, and number. And we can receive then the status back once the payment is completed. We can build dashboards to receive up-to-date information on the status, and we can keep track of the activities here in web service work reports. Those reports are created automatically every time an action takes place in the process. It is logged, and you can see what happened. This will allow you to keep track of all of these synchronizations and, if required, trace any misconfiguration. These sections can be hidden for different types of users. For administrators, of course, they can be available. For other types of users, maybe that would not be required.